everything that happened yesterday back means nothing. Woo. When you're 19 and you can spend 7 full years learning your craft, meeting people that are mentors, being patient, and you wake up and you're 26 years old, you have your entire life in front of you and you've done great foundational work to go on and then be successful. I just don't get it. I don't get why people think at 18, 22, 30 that they have to have their life figured out when they live to 90 and 100.
If you could give any quick piece of advice
It's
for
patience.
being lost in life?
It's patience.
Okay.
You can't be lost in life when you're this young. Should you actually have everything figured out 18 or 20% into your life? Absolutely not. Not more importantly than that, your life evolves and changes as you get older. Too many kids don't take advantage of time. They're in such a rush to find it or be doing it that they don't take advantage of the thing they have. Figuring everything out is a forever game. Have you figured out how awesome you're gonna be as a grandma when you're still not a grandma? Whether it's your parents or yourself or people, everybody's trying to prove something so early. It's the pressures of society, the pressures of your siblings, and most of all, the pressures of your parents. So many of you are scared to fail because your dad's gonna make you feel bad about it. And I have empathy for that. That sucks. I'm very fascinated by negative energy that is not cut outable. You need to put your fucking earpods in and listen to positivity 24/7 to get you through that shit. Or this ideological thing that the media or culture has put in your head of what you're supposed to be or how you're supposed to roll or what's supposed to be happening at this point is ludicrous. Like, you're not lost in life, you're just early in the process. You just don't meet 90-year-olds that talk about how pumped they are that they made an extra $100,000. Like, they don't exist. They talk about regret. I wish I did. Literally, inevitably, I do this. I wish is the opening line. The judgment you put on yourself that is actually being fabricated by outside forces is, to me, the thing that I'm trying to fundamentally break down. Just fundamentally trying to break it down. Everybody's judging themselves way too early. You can literally do nothing for the next 8 years and be a child. Time is your asset.
Totally.
The one thing a 20-year-old has over me is 20 fucking years. But you don't think that. Because when you're 22, you don't think 31 is young.
Maybe that's a problem with youth.
Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, it's always, everybody's got strengths and weaknesses. What a 60-year-old has is experience, but doesn't have time. What youth has is time. You can literally do 4 different things over the next 2 years, 6 months at a time to figure out everything that you think you might like, you should try to do. But that's not what people tell you to do.
Yeah, they tell you to get a job.
100%. What I would do is gather as many experiences as possible. Go and travel and learn. Go and start that business that you've always wanted. Hook up with those 3 teammates and start that band you've always wanted. This is the time to be massively risk-oriented. Pick something and fucking do it. You're a fucking young kid. You can do all 19 things. Like, if you're under 32, 33, and you're devastated that you don't have your life figured out, you're just looking at the game completely wrong. Take a breath. Take a fucking breath. And so that's what I'm trying to tell people. It's what you don't do that screws with you later on. The reason you're not winning and doing what you want is somebody's opinion of you matters more to you than your opinion of yourself. It's very true.
Given a time turner, I would tell my 21-year-old self that personal happiness lies in knowing that life is not a checklist of acquisition or achievement. Your qualifications, your CV, are not your life, though you will meet many people of my age and older who confuse the two. Life is difficult and complicated and beyond anyone's total control. And the humility to know that will enable you to survive its vicissitudes. You might never fail on the scale I did, but some failure in life is inevitable. It is impossible to live without failing at something, unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you fail by default. We all have to decide for ourselves what constitutes failure, But the world is quite eager to give you a set of criteria if you let it. One of the many things I learned at the end of that classics corridor down which I ventured at the age of 18 in search of something I could not then define was this, written by the Greek author Plutarch. What we achieve inwardly will change outer reality. That is an astonishing statement, and yet proven 1,000 times every day of our lives. It expresses in part our inescapable connection with the outside world, the fact that we touch other people's lives simply by existing. But how much more are you likely to touch other people's lives? Your intelligence, your capacity for hard work, the education you have earned and received, give you unique status and unique responsibilities. If you choose to use your status and influence to raise your voice on behalf of those who have no voice, if you choose to identify not only with the powerful but with the powerless, if you retain the ability to imagine yourself into the lives of those who do not have your advantages, then it will not only be your proud families who celebrate your existence, but thousands and millions of people whose reality you have helped change. We do not need magic to transform our world. We carry all the power we need inside ourselves already. We have the power to imagine better. Looking back at the 21-year-old that I was at graduation is a slightly uncomfortable experience for the 42-year-old that she has become. Half my lifetime ago, I was striking an uneasy balance between the ambition I had for myself and what those closest to me expected of me. I was convinced that the only thing I wanted to do, ever, was write novels. However, my parents, both of whom came from impoverished backgrounds and neither of whom had been to college, took the view that my overactive imagination was an amusing personal quirk that would never pay a mortgage or secure a pension. I know the irony strikes with the force of a cartoon anvil now, but... So they hoped that I would take a vocational degree. I wanted to study English literature. A compromise was reached that in retrospect satisfied nobody, and I went up to study modern languages. Hardly had my parents' car rounded the corner at the end of the road than I ditched German and scuttled off down the classics corridor. I cannot remember telling my parents that I was studying classics. They might well have found out for the first time on graduation day. Of all the subjects on this planet, I think they would have been hard put to name one less useful than Greek mythology when it came to securing the keys to an executive bathroom. Now, I would like to make it clear in parenthesis that I do not blame my parents for their point of view. There is an expiry date on blaming your parents for steering you in the wrong direction. So why do I talk about the benefits of failure? Simply because failure meant a stripping away of the inessential. I stopped pretending to myself that I was anything other than what I was, and began to direct all my energy into finishing the only work that mattered to me. Had I really succeeded at anything else, I might never have found the determination to succeed in the one arena where I believed I truly belonged.